Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another every blank type Temtem Explained video, and today, as per your votes in the comments of the last video, we will be exploring every fire type Temtem. Make sure to get your votes in the comments of this video for which type you'd like to see me cover next. So far we've been through neutral, electric, digital, crystal, mental, and now fire, so we're about halfway there. Fire Temtem are described as being powerful and unpredictable as a naked flame and require extra care when handling them, even by elite tamers. They are generally found in the scorching depths of the Anahir volcano. There are currently 11 known fire-type Temtem with 5 evolutionary lines in total. Today we'll be covering 10 of those Temtem, as Anahir was covered in our every crystal-type Temtem video, so make sure to check that out. I'll leave a video card on screen now, as well as a link to that in the description. Anyways, with all that being said, let's begin with our first fire-type Temtem, VannaP. VannaP is a mono fire-type Temtem and is the first stage of a 2-stage evolutionary line. Its appearance and personality description reads, VannaP is a goat-like Temtem covered in soft, flame-like red fur. It has 4 legs with brown hooves and a brown beard. Its tail is covered with the same fur as the rest of its body. It has a brown nose and 2 eyes which appear to be closed. Capricious and stubborn, these Temtem roam the side of the Anahir volcano, grazing on burning coals instead of grass. Notably difficult to tame, they set the right expectations for prospective fire-type tamers. Its traits are Pyromaniac, which boosts its fire-type moves by 15%, and Settling, which increases the attack stat by 8% for every turn this Tem's on the battlefield. This is a very powerful ability to say the least. It yields 2 speed TVs and comes in at 35 inches tall and 99 pounds. It evolves into CapIre after leveling up 17 times. CapIre or CapIre, I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce that. Much like its pre-evolution, it's a mono fire-type Temtem, and its appearance and personality description reads, CapIre retains most of the flame-like fur it once had as a VannaP, but it appears to have grown out of it. Its brown beard now appears to be a collar, and its eyes are now visible and are teal and blue. Other than this, it carries all other main features of VannaP. These temperamental creatures often appear in Myrslin folklores as tricksters. Their unreliable nature embedded deeply in their culture. Highly territorial, they breed in Anahir and make sure any visitors know how unwelcome they are. Its traits are Last Rush, which increases the user's attack, speed, and special attack by 50% when all other allies are knocked out, and Resilient, which allows the Temtem to survive with 1 HP when it would have otherwise knocked itself out due to overexertion damage. It yields 2 speed TVs and 1 attack TV and comes in at 59 inches tall and 148 pounds. Its base stat total is 429 with a focus in speed, and it currently sits in the B ranking according to Temtem Strat. Next up is Raver, a mono fire type lion cub Temtem. It's the first stage of a 3-stage evolutionary line, and its appearance and personality description reads, Raver is a lion cub Temtem. It is primarily red with stripes of yellow on its neck and its rear side. It has scarlet pink eyes and has a shiny gold symbol in between. It has a small mane with ears sticking out the back of it. Raver is often given to novice tamers in Omniscient dojos because it's relatively mild-mannered for a fire Temtem. Easier to handle than the mightier varieties, it is nevertheless a loyal companion and a decent fighter. Its traits are Camaraderie, which decreases incoming damage by 50% if the user and ally are part of the same evolutionary line, as well as Tested, which increases special attack and attack by 30% during the first 2 turns the user's on the battlefield. It yields 1 defense TV and comes in at 37 inches tall and 62 pounds. It evolves into Raise after leveling up 15 times. Raise or Rise, I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce this one. It's another mono fire type, and its appearance and personality description reads, Raise is a lion Temtem with predominantly red fur. It has a yellow 3-part crescent moon pattern on its forehead, as well as yellow eyebrows and yellow parts around its ankles and under its chin as part of its big red mane. It has red eyes. Fierce and indomitable as the fire, Rays are difficult to tame but extremely valuable as fighting Temtem. Each has a characteristic birthmark on the snout, as unique as the movements of a single flame. Its traits are Furor, which increases technique damage by 33% when the health is below 33%, and Demoralize, which decreases the speed of the enemy Temtem by 1 when it enters a battlefield. This ability actually makes Rays in some cases more useful than its evolution, as it can really cripple the opposing team if used wisely. It yields 2 defense TVs and comes in at 63 inches tall and 154 pounds. Even though it's only a mid-evolution, it's considered to be a B-rank Temtem according to Temtem Strat, and evolves into Raishin after leveling up 25 more times. Raishin, much like its 2 previous forms, is also a mono fire type lion Temtem, and its appearance and personality description reads, Raishin is a final evolution of Raver and evolves from Rays as such. It is heavily inspired by lions. It has a thick orange-red mane around its stern, intense lion-like face. It has large, powerful paws, each ending in 3 short claws. Its ears poke free from its mane, and has a long, fierce yellow eyebrows. Its snout and muzzle are thick, and its mane extends below the muzzle like a beard. Its mane is much thicker than that of its previous evolution Raise, seemingly to imply increased authority and power. As the Tukmani legend goes, at the beginning of time, Tukma and Kisawa were one single fire plain where the huge herds of Raishin ran wild and free, Flame and Temtem being one until the archipelago cooled, and these noble creatures emigrated underground. Its traits are Prideful, which increases attack, special attack, and speed if it lands the finishing blow on an opponent, and Motivator, which restores ally stamina by 10% at the start of each turn. It yields 2 defense and 2 special attack TVs and comes in at 77 inches tall and 276 pounds. Its base stat total is 441 with a somewhat balanced attack, defense, and HP. Like its pre-evolution, it also sits in the B tier according to Temtem's strat. Next up is Magnus, yet another mono fire type Temtem. Its appearance and personality description reads, Magnus appears to be inspired by sharks. It's primarily orange with dark purple patterns. Its face is egg-shaped and has a crooked mouth and 2 large eyes that protrude out the sides, which are almost entirely red except for a white sclera. From its chest stretching down to the beginning of its legs, it has a dark purple triangular pattern stretching across its sides and 2 hourglass-shaped patterns on its back. It has 2 fins for arms, the flappy one being white. The top of its legs are a darker orange, returning to light for the rest. Its feet are rectangular and have 2 spherical toes. It also appears to have a dark purple horn or shark fin at the center of its back on top of its head. Magnus's original habitat was in the lava rivers under the Anak caldera, but they can now be found all around the archipelago as foundry operators in Quetzal heating system in Arbory and of course in Temtem battles. Its traits are caffeinated, which prevents sleep, and thick skin, which reduces incoming fire damage by 50%. It yields 2 attack TVs and comes in at 45 inches tall and 58 pounds. It evolves into Nastyona after leveling up 16 times. Nastyona, yet again, is another mono fire type, and might I say, this is actually one of my favorite design Temtem right now. Its appearance and personality description reads, Nastyona is a land shark looking Temtem. It's primarily orange with dark purple patterns. It has a crooked mouth with white at the bottom of a hexagonal shape down the neck. It has 2 large sharp eyes that protrude out the sides, which are almost entirely red except for a white sclera. From its chest stretching down to the beginning of its legs, Nastyona has a dark purple triangular pattern stretching across the sides and a dark purple pattern on the back continuing out to its purple, almost mermaid-looking tail. It has fins on its arms and 1 on the top of its head, the flappy part being white and purple respectively. The top of its legs and arms are a darker orange, returning to light for the rest. Its feet are like a dog paw and have 2 toes. Nastyona are fire-loving Temtem at home in the fiercest of blazes. They can be found grazing in woods devoured by wildfire. The tame varieties learn to rein in their destructive tendencies, but even then, tamers should exercise care. Its traits are Bully, which increases damage output by 30% when your team has more remaining Tems than the opponent, and Pyromaniac, which as we discussed previously, increases fire damage by 15%. It yields 3 attack TVs and comes in at 94 inches tall and a whopping 397 pounds. Its base stat total is 438, with a major focus on attack and somewhat balanced stats otherwise. It currently sits in the C rank according to Temtem strat. Next up is Vulvar, the first Tem on this list to not be a mono fire type, but instead is a dual fire and earth type. It kind of reminds me of Cubone if I'm being quite honest. It's the first stage of a 3 evolutionary line, and its appearance and personality description reads, Vulvar is a dinosaur/dragon looking Temtem with a rock covering its face. It is brownish-orange in color with lime green eyes and red strips on its abdomen. Some academics speculate that this is a last remnant of the long-lost draconic variety of Temtem. In practice terms, most tamers classify them as fire-earth, which is an accurate designator for these mighty but shy creatures. Its traits are camaraderie and caffeinated, both of which we explained previously. It comes in at 30 inches tall and 99 pounds and evolves into Valar after 14 levels. Valar, of course, is also a fire and earth type Temtem, and its appearance and personality description reads, although they hide their faces in hollow rocks like their lesser brethren, these Temtem have very little to fear from their environment. Tough as stone and destructive as fire, they are a force to be reckoned with. Its traits are Pyromaniac, which we've been through twice already, and Individualist, which causes techniques targeting the ally to fail. It yields 1 HP and 1 defense TV and comes in at 64 inches tall and 208 pounds. It evolves into Volk Rain after 28 level ups. And once again, Volk Rain is a fire and earth type Temtem and is the final stage of its evolutionary line. Its appearance and personality description reads, Volk Rain are sometimes described as Anak on 2 legs. If a variety of draconic looking Temtem ever exists, they couldn't have been much fiercer than this advanced flaming beast. Its abilities are receptive, which increases favorable status conditions by 1 turn, and vigorous, which causes all overexertion damage to be increased by 50%. Its base stat total is 473 and is quite balanced other than its low speed stat. It sits in the A tier according to Temtem Strat. So yeah guys, those are all the currently known fire type Temtem with the exception of Anahir, who like I said we went over during our crystal type video, which once again you should check out. I actually do enjoy most of these designs. My only complaint as of right now is that most of the fire types are just mono fire, and I definitely like to see more type combinations in the future. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the current roster of fire types, and don't forget to vote down below in the comments for which type you'd like to see me cover next. We still have water, nature, wind, earth, toxic, and melee, so let me know which one you'd like to see next on the chopping block. With all of that being said, thanks so much for watching, and make sure to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at GymLeaderEd, and until next time, peace.